Pretend we animals. We don't whine, we just break bread with the team. Holy mackerel. Know us, then we raining. Better grab a boat. Wow. Space Force, wow.
My thing was, what I said was defeating white supremacy.
Yeah.
White people could create black supremacy. And this is what I'm talking about.
I feel like Terry Crews. I became a target all simply for my views. I'm willing to go and die on this hill. Yeah, Terry Crews. I questioned BLM and that's all it took. Now they call me Uncle Tom, you ever read the book? I'm seeing black supremacy everywhere I look. Exposed the whole agenda, dog, and I left them shook. They coming for my head, now I'm speaking out. On the road to equality, ain't no different route. From Don Lemon and others putting words in my mouth. To the gatekeepers I still don't know anything about. That's the hard truth within the black race. Typecasted as a white man in black face. So they label me a traitor, a disgrace. That's why nowadays I feel like Terry Crews. I became a target all simply for my views. Stand on my beliefs, dog, that is what I choose. Never back it down, and even if I lose, I'm willing to go and die on this hill. Terry Crews. I became a target all simply for my views. I'm willing to go and die on this hill. Terry Crews. I'm ringing the alarm, time to wake up. 40 acres, lot of ground for us to make up. All this violence that we see, we need to break up. And understand that we all got a cross we can take up. But usually our community in this situation is cause we seeking unity without communication. We sprinkle in the media and their misinformation. And now we got communism running out through the nation. Talking about defunding all the police. Got us marching, yelling no justice, no peace. Out here looting black businesses and slowly becoming the very thing that we said we are imposing. Wow. I swear we all just need a mirror. It's 2020, y'all, and it couldn't be any clearer. And if I tweet some things, I'm hoping they be a trigger to make you reconsider. I feel like Terry Crews. I became a target all simply for my views. Stand on my beliefs, dog, that is what I choose. Never back it down, and
pedophiles. I'm just saying, I'm ready, bro. Let's go.
There it goes.
I don't think you boys are ready for what I'm about to bring to the noise. Y'all ain't ready, man. We live on YouTube too.
Yeah, your mic is live, by the way. They can hear you.
Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. We are the two kings of the Rube Empire. I am the Philosopher King, the Ivory Tower, the Mad Scientist Matt. Up there, you know him, you love him. Can't tell if he's frozen. Nope, he's not frozen.
It's Ray! Listen here, Hulkamaniacs. Old Hulkster's been out there hanging and banging at Venice Beach, Gold's Gym, pumping up the 24-inch pythons, saying the prayers, taking the vitamins, and dominating here at Plausible Foolishness. And I have a perspective on things. The strong one is in Sukasa.
The Ebony Rampart.
And unfortunately, we have to introduce. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
That's right. The right hand, the good right hand. And once in a while, still producing. Once in a while. The Duke. Dusty. Ah, yes, so good.
The kick-ass dude.
I like that.
Getting a lot of love here at the beginning of the show. Thanks for all the likes and the follows. We appreciate that. Welcome to the Rube Empire.
Who are these mental midgets that are following this right now? Who would watch this show? Who would be smart enough to put this show on live right now? Who would do that? Huh?
We got BBR Bura 6001 and Destroyer T.
Destroyer.
Oh my gosh! What this is insanity. I can't even handle it, man. But hey,
and we got Matthew Ned liking the
Ned from Oklahoma. Big Matt Ned, what's up, baby? It's going to be an amazing show today. Buckle your safety belts, boys. It is going to be insane. Now, listen, here's my parental guidance warning of the show today, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. I am 2 glasses of wine deep. I am not ashamed to say that on this show. There will be no slurring, no blurring, no craziness. I'm going to bring the freaking noise today. Do you understand me? If you're a little older, 40 or older, you better put your depends on because it might get a little piddly around here if you know what I'm talking about, okay? It's going to get intense. Are they ready for this today?
I don't think they are.
Not if they've never watched the show.
Because I'm ready to just slice and dice some liberal logic today. I'm ready just to own some things. Because here's the thing. Can I just say something, boys? Can I say something honestly?
I believe. Let me take it. I mean, this is a podcast. There's a reason we do this, so I'm gonna say, yeah, you can take a moment to say something.
That is the point that we're here for, right?
Listen, I understand. So here's what I'm gonna say, boys, and I'm gonna just say this nicely, sweetly, and softly, okay?
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
want to get.
Sure.
I'm just gonna say this. Yeah, you know when you're at the doctor's office and you're a little kid and you're just terrified and you're scared about what's going to happen with that needle, that long needle that looks longer than the freaking county line you grew up in. And the doctor says, don't worry, it's just going to be a little prick today. Well, guess what? That prick is named the Strong One, the Ebony Rampart, the man, the myth, the legend. I have an injection of genetic perfection for you today to stimulate your mind, to get you ready to go. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen.
I knew there was a reason why I like needles.
Okay, here's the
No
thing.
wonder I keep calling him the little prick.
Just a little prick. Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to say this as nicely as I now, screw it. I'm not going to say it. It is what it is. Here's what's going down today, ladies and gentlemen. Pearl clutching is my number 1 pet peeve.
I'm gonna derail you for just a second. We just talked about this, but we have to give a shout out to all these based airline pilots walking out because of bad weather.
Yeah.
You know, it's about
the horrible
time.
weather we've been experiencing.
Wait a minute. I was pretty sure the weather was perfect yesterday.
Didn't you hear about that tropical storm coming through?
To quote Elijah Schaefer, it was a dry rain.
What?
It was a dry rain.
Tropical storm what? Make believe?
Tropical storm.
Tropical storm Biden.
Biden?
Yeah. Tropical storm mandate.
Mandate. Tropical storm pandemic. Gotcha, bro.
Yeah.
I feel you, bro.
So shout out to them. Yeah. Let's give them a round of applause. Good job for being the first group to actually stand up for their rights rather than being a bunch of sheeple. We salute you. We salute you. Anyway, back to you. Ebony Rampart.
Listen.
Let's go.
Here's what I'm going to say, boys. I try my best to stay calm in these situations. You know, I try my best to not lose my proverbial shite. Okay. Like I try so hard to be salt and light, a peacemaker, but every once in a while you got to flip some tables. Okay. Every once in a while you got to drive some mofos out of the temple. Okay. Every once in a while you got to tell the Pharisees to just go castrate themselves like Paul did, okay? Every once in a while, you just gotta get it in there, and that's what this show's for. And I talked to you earlier this week, Matt. I was calm. I just got over my sickness. I was like, listen, I'll be there on Thursday. We're going to talk about happy things. We're going to talk about blurry things. We're going to talk about, like Nephilim and Sasquatch and fun things like that.
Yeah.
Hold on
Joyful
one second.
things. Go ahead.
It's Tuesday. You said you're going to be here on Thursday.
Listen,
I think you got your days screwed up there.
I tried to wait until Thursday. Do you understand what I'm saying? I tried to tell them, hey, listen, I am going to be the two kings, the warrior king that you have appointed out in the field to slaughter anyone that comes in the way of this kingdom, okay? I was trying to be good. But something got in my way, okay? Like a fly in my ointment, like a pebble in my shoe, like hemorrhoids. There was something that literally just got up my craw. And I'm going to be real with you, boys. I have one pet peeve in the world. One. That's it. I've got one pet peeve. It's not it's not nails on a chalkboard. It's not people pouring water in cereal. Okay? It's not people putting pine. Huh? It is a thing.
It is a thing, and it's not. I had a roommate.
Okay?
That's the dumbest thing.
It's not even people. Listen, it's not even people that worship the Harry Potter movies, okay? It's not something annoying like that, okay? It's not. It's one thing and one thing only, and it's pearl clutching. I absolutely detest, with every fiber in my being, pearl clutching. Do you know why? It's the biggest load of bullocks possible. We live in a real world. If you're pearl clutching in 2021, my friend, you were made for the wrong time. This is not Victorian England when everything was a scandal. In reality, everybody was banging everybody and was just as bad and vile as it is now. Okay? We live in a society now where everything's open and exposed. Okay? And it's a better society for it. Okay? I want to know, I don't really want to know people's dirt, but I want to know that everybody's dirt. Okay? You know why? The Bible's very clear. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. True or false? Am I still correct on that?
Oh, yeah.
To clutch your pearls for very real things in this day and age is laughable. It's laughable.
Yeah, it's pretty pathetic.
Especially when every person who's pissed about it is doing it. Now, here's the thing. Things that trigger me. I get triggered about abortion. That's clearly murder. It's disgusting. Pedophiles are gross human beings. We can all agree to that. Genocide is disgusting. We can all agree upon it. You know why? Because most normal people aren't doing that. Period.
Yeah.
Okay? But here's the thing. We're all friends here, right? Even you, Dusty. We're friends, right?
Occasionally. Depends on how you say my name.
See, here's the thing. And if you don't have a Y chromosome, it's going to be really hard to understand this concept. But when guys like each other, guess what they do?
They crap on each other.
They talk
Usually.
shart. They talk lots of shart. Okay? Because that's our word. That's endearing. And if you don't understand this, have some children, you weird commie lefties that won't have kids, and have 2 boys. Watch them interact with each other. Are they blowing hugs and kisses at each other?
Well,
It's usually me pulling them apart.
wait. If the commie lefties have kids, yes. Because they'll have been indoctrinated that way.
No, here's the thing.
True. Nature will out at first. You're right. Nature.
Listen, listen, and I would agree with you. They're louder and smaller sex, but let's get real. If 2 little boys are growing up together, even with the most pink-haired commie mom, even though, no offense, nobody's going to breed with her. So let's get real. Contextually, it ain't going to happen, okay? Nobody is breeding with purple-haired Karen. Not happening, okay?
Do you have a flaw in your logic?
Go ahead.
Sperm banks.
True. But in reality, most people are not impregnating purple-haired Karen. Not happening. Okay?
Nope.
Now, with that being said, in the real world, 2 boys together aren't having tea parties. I have 2 daughters. Matt has 2 daughters. What do girls do? What do they do to have fun?
They play.
Let's play house.
Yeah.
Let's play dress up. Let's do tea parties. If one daughter says to the other daughter, you know what, you're ugly today, what's going to transpire? You hurt my feelings. Dusty has boys.
Yeah.
I have a brother. Matt, you have brothers.
Mm-hmm.
If I looked at my brother right now and said, man, you're a homo, he would laugh his butt off. We'd wrestle it out. We'd tussle, but then we would laugh like little kids because it's hilarious to call your brother something that he clearly is not.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes already, kind of led me the wrong way, but no, I'm just kidding. I love my brother. He's got 3 sons, okay? And he'll never listen to this podcast, so it's all good, okay? Now, that being said, the pearl clutching online with the John Gruden situation is on another level of cringe. Even more cringy than Kamala Harris having paid actors sit there and pretend to like what she's saying about NASA. If you saw that this week, dear God, I'm sorry for your eyes.
Oh, you mean
so
when she
hard to
wasn't
watch.
in Mexico at the special
when she
border
was not-
meeting?
Yes, when the border czar had Canadian actors talk about an American institution founded by Nazis that has a CPI program.
Fired.
But I won't talk about that. That's not for this conversation, okay?
You have to make sure you put in there, they are hired actors.
Hired Canadian actors.
They couldn't get regular kids. They had to hire professional actors,
Canadians.
children actors.
Canadians. And I love Canucks. I love Trailer Park Boys. Love At Blue. Hockey. I can get down, eh? Tim Hortons, eh? Love it.
Letterkenny.
Letterkenny. To be fair. Okay, listen. I love the Canucks. You understand me? I love them. Now, with that being said, I'm in rare form with John Gruden, if you're not familiar with the National Football League, the woke football league, it should be the WFL at this point, fired John Gruden, who is a Super Bowl winning coach from the Las Vegas Raiders yesterday. Do you know why? Emails. Now, you would think to get fired from your position in these emails, you would have some attachment to Pizzagate or having sex with little kids or threatening to kill someone. even though most of that is in most of our senators' emails. I won't say that. I digress. That's not what was found in these emails. Okay?
You'd also think
He
they'd
had
be
emails
recent.
between. No. They're 10 years old. From ESPN, MSNBC, ESPN, talking amongst his colleagues, like you and I would talk to each other. And he said words like bundle of sticks, English cigarettes, wussy with a P. He called a big-lipped human being big-lipped.
Well, hey, there's context to that.
Go ahead.
He was actually talking about how big of a mouth he was because the owner of that time was just blabbing his mouth off. He was actually not commenting on his lip size. He was commenting about his mouth just opening and closing and crap falling out of it.
Yeah, he called the commissioner of the NFL a slot-jawed waggot. Put in a different letter in the front. Because he doesn't know anything about football.
Yeah.
You know anything about the NFL commissioner? He doesn't know anything about football. He is a Muppet. A Muppet. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to be nice. He called Joe Biden a completely lost kitty cat. It's the nicest way to put it. He
is.
He used words that any normal straight male conversation comes up. And you know why? Because guys say things, it's called locker talk. And we don't mean it in a derogatory way. I call these guys all kinds of words on the text messages. If Matt screenshotted my conversations, it might get me canceled if I give a crap.
It'll be in the Discord.
But they can't cancel me.
It'll be in the Discord.
It'll be in the Discord. Yeah. You can screenshot it to the people. I'm cool with it.
Oh, great. I'm getting fired.
I call Matt soft all the time. I love Matt. I call him a soft baby back biatch sometimes. You know why? Because I love him. That's how dudes express love. I had a read between the lines symbol when this Skype started for Dusty. He reciprocated it 5 minutes later. It doesn't mean I hate Dusty. It means I love him.
Ray?
Dusty. Now, think about this. And if any guy denies this, let me be real with you. Let me help you out with this, ladies. Ladies that watch the show, and there's a few of you, but if you listen to this show. Okay. If a guy tells you that they don't do locker talk, you got one of two options. He's either a bundle of sticks, an English cigarette, and he's lying, or he's just lying. It's that simple. Even Christian guys bust each other's balls because it's hilarious.
For sure.
I won't even comment. Literally, Matt's been around me, and I won't say what pastor, but one of my first interactions with Matt and a pastor was one of the funniest things ever. I wish I could tell that story, okay? That people can connect it, and I don't want to get him in trouble. But it was one of the funniest things ever. And it had to do with genitalia. And it was hilarious. You know why? Because a man's genitals is hilarious, people. Yeah. It's one of the ugliest things on the planet. But it's funny, and we know it, and we're in on the joke, and we like making fun of each other. It's fun.
How many jokes have there been of the space capsule?
Bezos.
Few.
The Bezos' space capsule.
You mean Dr. Evil's space capsule?
Dr. Evil. Like think. Just think of that running gag in the Austin Powers. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Johnson.
Now,
listen. But one of the funniest Will Ferrell movies is Step Brothers. You guys seen Step Brothers?
Yes.
when they really loved each other, they called each other all types of things that were not appropriate. Because that's how guys bond. We don't
Communicate.
hug. Listen, we don't hug, we slug. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what we do. And when we're having a private conversation and someone's being a douchebag, we call them a douchebag. It's really simple. When somebody's being an English cigarette, we call them that. It's really simple. It doesn't other people. It's not punching down, because last time I checked, the LGBTQ community has a flag flying on every government building right now. You're in power, so kiss my butt. Watch the Dave Chappelle special. He gives a very clear clarity to this, okay?
Oh, he's getting canceled too,
So-
so
Love that.
don't worry.
But he can't.
Yeah.
He's got FU money.
It's true.
And here's
That's
the
true.
thing. We have
And-
to have FU mentality because this
We
is
do.
so absurd at this
Well,
point.
that's the thing. That's
Now
what I was
here-
going to say, because
Go ahead.
yes, locker room talk is all in good fun, but calling Joe Biden what he did, that was meant to be
he wrong?
derogatory. Some of it was
But is he
meant to be.
wrong?
What's that?
This just said, let's go, Brandon.
Yeah.
But is he wrong?
No.
Is he wrong?
No, I don't think so. And what's ironic is that this is happening at the same time that stadiums across the country are chanting "Let's go, Brandon"
Yes.
Let's go, Brandon.
constantly.
Hey, the best one so far is Liberty University. So Liberty's chanting "Let's go, Brandon." It's like, we're a Christian school. We want to say F Joe Biden too. We'll just do "Let's go, Brandon."
Yep. Death Hunter
Sorry.
230
Had to throw
says
that one out there.
that's how the guys act at work. If we aren't picking on each other, we would think they were mad at us.
Seriously.
Exactly. Seriously. If Ray
Seriously.
didn't come on this show and didn't berate me at least a little bit, I think he was mad at me. I think I did something wrong.
Listen, I flipped you off in the first seconds of the start of the Skype. That's how I say I love you, Dusty. Okay?
Right?
The whole Dusty shtick came out of love. Do you understand me? Dusty? I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. Like, okay, that being said, okay, Gruden's fired because he sent some emails 10 years ago that had nothing to do with the NFL or the organization that he works for, which is a violation of your First Amendment. Now, Gruden was an idiot and resigned himself. Idiot.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Idiot. Because if they fire you, you can sue them till the cows come home because they violated your First Amendment freedom of speech for something that had nothing to do with
Our
your
right to
work email.
privacy, aren't we supposed to be secure in our person and papers? I mean, email isn't literally
funny.
on paper anymore,
No.
but
Yeah.
Now, to be fair,
To be fair,
private organizations can do what they want, but you're going to find the consequences because he didn't do it on your watch. Even if that's the case. But guess what? This is still America. I know that Biden wants this to be China badly, but it's not. We're still in America. I
portions
can
of the
say what I
country
want
still
to
are.
say. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I mean, Nevada probably, it is what it is. Now, with that being said, okay, keep this in context. He's fired for saying the words bundle of sticks, English cigarettes, kittens. That's what he's fired for.
Mhm.
Oh, and saying that somebody had a big mouth. Okay, that being said,
And let's all put this into context too. He's a coach for a team that is based in Sin City,
yes, Sin City.
but Sin City's got a problem with words.
just a
Sin
little.
City.
Yeah.
Hooker capital of the world, other than Amsterdam. Gambling, alcoholism,
What
drug
about
use,
Bangkok?
the mob. Well, yeah, true. Take that back. True. Take that back. In America, how about that? Prostitution center of America.
go.
Okay. Now, that being said,
Not to mention the fecal matter and the used needles all over their streets.
I thought that was San Francisco.
that's San Francisco.
Oh, it's
That too.
Las Vegas too. Cool.
That's probably Vegas too. Vegas is a
Cool.
dirty place. Okay, you guys have been to Vegas, right?
I've never been to Vegas.
No.
I've
Okay,
never
there's a
been
band
west of
called
the
Dirty
Mississippi.
Vegas. We got to change.
I want
that, bro.
to, but
There's-
you know that
I
costs
have. I just haven't gone
money.
back. I haven't gone to that.
Listen, here's a good segue. What are you people doing? Can you just subscribe
Yeah.
and click that subscribe button and help this podcast out? I want Matt to see the glories of Texas barbecue. Okay, the glories of the
Yeah.
crap hole.
I want
that
to
is
eat
San
at Franklin
Francisco.
Barbecue.
You understand me?
I want to get up
Listen,
at 6
I
a.m.
want
to
Matt-
eat at noon.
Listen, I want Matt to smoke that sticky, icky bud up in Denver, Colorado. I wanted to have high times up there. Just kidding. We're Christians. We don't do that. But here's the thing. I want him to enjoy America, dang it. And we can only do that if you subscribe. If you really like us, hit that follow, hit that subscribe. Make sure you do that here at twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. That's twitch.tv/plausible foolishness. Now,
Or-
that being said, boys,
Or you can
Since
like and
it-
share
go
on
ahead.
YouTube. You can find the podcast anywhere we get podcasts, and write a review on iTunes. You can do all of that. All of that helps. Share. You know the deal. Peace.
and I do want to say this, thoughts and prayers to everybody who lives in California right now. Nothing really happened in California. I just feel really bad for the people who live there. So I just want to throw out thoughts and prayers that way for those people who live out there in California.
Amen.
Now, that being said, here's the deal. Okay. Okay. So Sin City coach fired for maggots and wussy comments. Okay.
Mhm.
Fired for this. And if the league, if Las Vegas Raiders wouldn't have done it, the league would have fired or investigated them for this as well. The NFL. Now, here's the problem with that, and this is where I got triggered. Okay, to use a soft liberal term. Now,
Thank you,
I got triggered because there's two.
Thank you.
What?
One moment. Thank you, Dustin Peterson, 1980. Don't know who that is. But thank you for paying your voluntary taxes.
Weird guy.
Your liege lords, thank you.
Dusty. Thank you. Now, okay. Here's
that
the
trigger
problem
you?
with the woke football league right now. You fire a guy for words, because that's essentially what we're doing here, right? We're firing somebody for words. Here's the issue. You guys are familiar with the Super Bowl, correct? It's the most watched television event on the planet. More people watch the Super Bowl than anything else. You know what the most popular thing about the Super Bowl is, besides the commercials, which are falling off a cliff very quickly because everybody's trying to get woke, is the halftime show. Halftime show. Guess who's playing this year, boys?
I don't know. Probably some hip hop personality that was relevant like 30 years ago.
Well, I can tell you it's not the Gaithers, and it's definitely not Stephen Curtis Chapman. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige.
Well, the first three are known. Deeply known throughout the world, really. World famous for their clean lyrics.
Very clean. Very clean. Lyrics like Slap a B and Say Agate by Mr. Eminem. He was literally in trouble from the LGBTQ plus blah, 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 letters that we're trying to let pedophiles come in group
But he's...
for saying gay
Yeah,
stuff.
but he's okay because he hated Donald Trump, so...
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Trump covers multiple sins.
So he's
White
on
privilege.
that left side. So
Okay, cool. All right, so he's good. He said F Trump. So all the gay slander that he said before and the use of the same words that Gruden got fired for is the entertainer that will be entertaining us at the halftime show. How about Dr. Dre? How about Drizzy Dre? Now, he might be upset because the rumor on the street is he is a how do I say this nicely? A joy boy, but everybody experiments in LA, so I'm not going to throw that out there. But I will say this that we do know he's accused of kicking the living crap out of his wife. Oh, yeah, and his lyrics, one of his famous songs is, "Bees ain't S, but hoes and tricks. Lick on these blanks and suck the you-know-what, and I will let you fill in the blanks for yourself." I did a phenomenal job of editing that line, by the way. Now, with that being said...
Point of order.
Yes, go ahead.
What was the number one song last month? I do believe it was WAP.
Worship and Praise.
Waffles and Pancakes.
Yeah. Waffles and Pancakes. That was it. Yeah.
I thought it was walruses and piranhas. That's what I thought it was. No.
Number one song in America, Waffle and Pancakes.
Yep. Yeah. Gotcha. Now, with that being said, Dre, who is an accused wife beater, and I have to say accused because it's allegedly, so it hasn't gone through, but kicking the crap out of his wife, who happened to have lyrics about beating the piss out of women and treating them like crap and saying
Wings and
homophobic lyrics while, acting like a homo. He's on the stage too. That's weird. Strange. But he is black, so we give him a pass because the expectation of soft racism. Now, the other guy, Snoop Diggity Dog, has used
Diggity.
all of those words in all of his raps. Strangely. Some would say homophobic, transphobic, anti-feminist lyrics. But
he does those. He does those super funny, interactions with Martha Stewart all the time.
Oh, that's right. He's tight with the rich white woman, so he's good.
It's done ironically. That's it.
Gotcha.
There we go.
But he's got a black heart as well, and because black guys can use all those lyrics because we think less of black men. But the white guy, John Gruden, he says it. But if John Gruden would have said F Trump, you'd have been okay, correct?
100%.
Yes.
100% okay.
Now,
no, he'd be lauded as a
Tucker
hero.
might have gotten a promotion.
Yeah, he'd be a hero. Hey, Deep State has something to say. Some great news. The Stones will no longer play Brown Sugar in concert. This is a win-win for the people. Thanks, Deep State.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, the Rolling Stones, Satan songs. Now, here's the thing. Okay. Kendrick Lamar, who's the fourth person in this trio, openly hates white people.
Oh. Well, that's okay. We hate white people,
okay.
too.
Listen, an open racist who hates white people. White devil, Kendrick Lamar, a known accused wife beater who has said all those same things Gruden says. Another black guy who said all those things that Gruden says, but worse. And Eminem who said all those things Gruden said, but worse. But he said F Trump is your entertainment for the Super Bowl halftime show. I think we can file this one under liberal logic. Like, think about this, boys.
So when was the last time that the NFL Super Bowl halftime show had any relevance whatsoever and draw to anyone?
Prince. That was it. Prince was the last one that rocked. I think J-Lo was a big time, like, because people like J-Lo, even though she lip syncs all of her songs. But Prince was pretty awesome. And it was in the rain. It was pretty badass. But I will give Prince his due. I'll give the devil his due.
I remember Michael Jackson doing it once.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's about all I remember.
Now,
of ever watching or caring. I didn't even care then.
But do you guys smell any hypocrisy here? At all?
Oh, yeah.
Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. My nose has stopped responding to it. I smell it so often. I can't tell if there's hypocrisy anymore because I'm oversaturated with it.
it's like living in if you're a smoker living in a smoker house, you can't smell it anymore.
Exactly.
You know, at some point,
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
It's like those hoarder shows. Like you're hoarding so much hypocrisy, you can't even smell it.
Yep, that's
The
America.
fecal matter. from
America is a hypocrisy
We're just
hoarder
blind to it.
TV show.
hypocrisy hoarder. What's the name of this episode? We should have named it the hypocrisy hoarder.
Well, we've started. We've stopped doing clever names as we're trying to
I got
grow.
you. No,
So we have to
I
make
feel
it
you.
stupid, and
Listen,
basically lay it
dumb
out there.
it down. Matt, that's why I'm on the show. I am your Sherpa to dumb people. Okay, I can bridge the gap to the least informed.
Yeah,
okay,
well,
But-
that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to grow the show.
now
We've
this
been
being
at it.
said,
Listen, seriously though, we've been at it for 3 years, and we love doing it.
Mhm.
We absolutely
Yes.
love doing it, and now we want it.
And we love our audience.
Now we need it to expand to
Sure.
I think we're
I'm
pretty
down.
solid. You know, minus some technical difficulties. You know what changes technical difficulties? Money. You know, when you have like actual
Money.
computers that work and equipment that works and stuff like that. But that's, you know, and
That
that's
does
why
help.
we need to grow the show. That's where we're at. Now it's about growth.
Okay.
And we thank you guys for watching and being a part of it, because you are the catalyst for us to grow. It's really without the Rube Empire, you know, the two kings are nothing.
We are nothing.
Yeah.
We're nothing.
And
but
you know, the
King
Kick-Ass
Nothing
Duke was
was
always
out,
nothing. So
now,
Hey. Yeah.
two more things of this story, guys, before I let it go and I release this dragon that's inside of me. Okay. Now, the NFL hires the most transphobic, homophobic, feminist rap compilation possible, and racist, by the way, because Kendrick Lamar, as they fire a alleged homophobic, racist coach. That's interesting.
hmm
Now, keep this in mind. He doesn't have a job anymore in the NFL. There's a quarterback named Deshaun Watson who would say he's the top 5 quarterback in the NFL. He plays for the Houston Texans. He hasn't lost his job yet. Now, you'd be surprised, right? He's one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league. Why would he possibly lose his job? Well, weird thing happened last year. 24, let me repeat that. 24, let me repeat that a little bit slower. 2-4, that's 24 separate women have come out and accused him of sexual assault. Now, I will be the first one to say that in biblical justice, you need more than one witness to accuse anybody of anything. Okay, you absolutely have to do that, because even in the Bible, it talks about the first person that tells you the story typically sounds like they're right until you hear the entire story, because the Bible crazy gives biblical justice and wisdom for most situations. For, well, not most, all. Take that back. I'm sorry I even said that. Now, all situations. Now, that being said, this is alleged and he's accused of it. So we don't know yet. But I'm going to let you know a little spoiler alert. When 24 separate women come out and they're not anonymous to put a suit against you because you sexually assaulted them, I don't want to say where there's smoke, there might be fire, but call me crazy. But didn't we just go through this with Cosby? I'm just saying. Now, with that being said, let him have his day in court. We'll see how it goes. But that guy has a job. He actually has been accused of physically assaulting women and has a job in the NFL that pays more than what John Gruden does right now.
Enzo Amore.
But Gruden,
Enzo Amore in the WWE got fired for one woman who turned out to be
And it ended up
absolutely
being
lying.
bullcrap. Yeah, exactly. Because one, you gotta go through the motions with it.
Now, guys, you got to remember
Yes.
one thing.
Yes.
You have to believe all women.
Okay, gotcha.
All.
Who was the black chick that Al Sharpton represented that was completely lying? Oh, what was her name? I completely forget.
Yeah.
Not to me, right? What's her
It was
name?
the lacrosse team.
I'll
right?
remember. Oh, the lacrosse team situation. That was another one.
That.
I
They
mean,
were
'cause,
that
yeah.
were separate. They were separate. What?
But keep in mind, that's one woman. One.
Mm-hmm.
24. We're sensing a pattern. No, he shouldn't
That's what
be
people
fired
said
for
about
that.
Cosby. That's exactly
True.
what people said about Cosby.
Right? 100%. Now, he has a job in the NFL still. He's getting paid to stand on the sideline. Gruden, though, had some bad emails and got fired. This sounds oddly familiar. Like complete incompetence and evil versus mean tweets. Crazy. Mean tweets. We rig an entire election to kick somebody out. Complete and total incompetence. Not a big deal.
It's fine. It's fine. He's okay. Who cares if he can't figure out what day of the week it is?
Oh, Deshaun
Or he
Watson's
likes
black
to
too. So Deshaun Watson, he's black. And by the way, all of last year, the NFL tried to campaign and say that it was hard for a black quarterback to do well in the league, even though 4 of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league are black. But I'll leave that alone. I don't want to point out the hypocrisy right now. I want to point out the other hypocrisy. So we have an NFL show of homophobic, transphobic, racists, anti-feminists performing. You have a guy accused of 24 sexual assaults standing on the sidelines right now, but John Gruden gets fired for mean emails. Now, what do you think?
Because sticks and stones won't break their bones, but words will destroy them.
Yeah, words, exactly. Now, that being said,
well, and he's white. All right, I'm just gonna say he's white. He's a head coach, so he's in power, and we need to tear down white people in power,
especially ones that don't agree with Biden.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's strange, weird.
Yep.
Now, with that being said, boys, that's
what
really
it is.
Exhaustively broken.
That's the reason they targeted
100%.
this guy, because they found this,
Yes.
and then it was like, okay, good, and we can take another whitey out of a position of power in the NFL, because that's what we like to do.
Now, what would you, if you're a lefty and this whole situation goes down, what's your possible defense of firing this guy, but allowing a halftime performance of known sexist, homophobic, and racist people, and allowing a guy who has 24 sexual assault allegations still on the field, well, on the sideline? What do you think the leftist defenses were that I heard today personally?
Wow, that's alleged. It's just alleged. It's fine. It's okay. He has the right thought.
Here is the most ridiculous, and I'll let you guys in on it. I mean, the halftime show's not a big deal because it's just entertainment. Hey, boys. I'm gonna out myself. If you're watching the live feed, pedigree. I coached at a little small school called UCLA. You guys have heard of that one before, right?
I have.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I've been intricately involved in sport in a very long time. And I'm not saying this dismissively or hating on sports, because God knows I love sport. I was hanging out at a freaking bodybuilding conference all weekend. Do you understand me? I love it.
Yeah.
I love competition. But I hate to break it to you.
You're there for the competition, not for the dudes in G-strings. Gotcha.
I mean, listen, bro.
Well,
I'm not trying to say.
You gotta love those oiled up dudes, right?
Gotcha.
Dude love. Now, here's the thing, okay? Listen, you bundle of sticks. Now, here's the thing.
Hey.
Listen, you English cigarette. Now, here's the thing. Spoiler alert for the mental midgets that are making this rebuttal to this obvious hypocrisy.
Mm-hmm.
Sport is entertainment.
Yeah.
Let me repeat that slowly for those in the back that didn't catch that. Sport is entertainment.
Yeah.
No matter how you cut it, slice it, dissect it, dye it, fry it, present it, bake it, it's the same.
It's true.
It's for fun.
It's all entertainment, kids.
Yeah.
But I don't play it professionally, so it's a competition. Sure, it's a competition. Just like a singing competition. It's a singing competition. But it's entertainment.
Yeah, singing comment. There is no sport that isn't for the entertainment of the crowd.
Entertainment.
Correct.
Listen, I did Olympic sports, wasn't Olympic level, competed in track and field, loved it, devoted a lot of my life to it. But it's entertainment for me and the 4 people that watched it out in the audience. When I was coaching UCLA and we were playing in front of 80,000 freaking raucous fans at the Coliseum, and they're saying "F you, Joe Biden." Just kidding. They were saying "Let's go, Brandon." Just kidding. This is way before that. But when they were saying "Piss off, UCLA," and we were in the heat of a battle, it's entertainment. Listen, I don't like the Michigan Wolverines. I cannot stand the USC Trojans. But guess what? I'm never going to pop a cap in them because it's not real life. It's like Twitter. It's entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the Steelers with a passion. But guess what? I have sex with a Steeler fan for the last 15 years because she's amazing and she's hot. I don't care if she loves that stupid team because you know what? It's entertainment.
Hey, Ray.
That's the reality. Go ahead.
Guess what?
What?
Notre Dame sucks.
Read between the lines. Now,
Yeah, right
that
there.
being
Right
said,
there.
that
Entertainment.
in front of my eye. Listen, I love the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, but that's entertainment.
It is.
Entertainment. It's pure.
Canes. Canes. Go Canes.
I'll throw it up for you one time. One time I'll throw it up for you. Now, with that being said, it's entertainment.
Boo.
Even the
Boo.
even the
Boo, I say.
listen, even Dusty's precious Gators. Okay?
It's great to hate state.
It's
It's greater
entertainment, man.
to hate a gator.
Listen, you said it wrong. It's Gators. You're missing.
Yeah, I know. No, I
You're
got.
missing the emphasis on the
Yeah,
syllable.
no, I got it. I got it.
Okay. Listen, it's entertainment. So if you're a mental midget that is justifying the firing of a guy for words in an email 10 years ago, you have to juxtapose, you have to agree that it looks absolutely stupid that you have Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, and Eminem on a stage entertaining that exact same entertainment project.
Yep.
Or whatever it is. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean,
So that was our.
you immediately fired a guy who you have in place to provide good entertainment for your fans, at the same time that you hired a group of guys to provide entertainment for your fans at your biggest show of the year.
Yes.
No, man, but he's the head of an organization. Yeah, an entertainment organization.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's all it is. That's all it is. It's bread and circus, guys.
Yep.
That's all it is. But here's the thing. Here's the
it's
deeper
bread and circus.
ramification.
It's bread and circus, and this is cultural engineering. They're trying
Yes.
to engineer our
Yeah.
culture, and they've been doing it.
Yes.
I mean, this is not new. They've been doing it for 100 years.
No.
You know, but
It's a symptom.
but now
it's a symptom of a real disease.
Yeah, this is where we're seeing the culmination of that engineering that we've been living through and doing nothing about. You know, now it's coming to our tables. You know,
But Matt, don't you dare push back, because the second rebuttal to this is, well, what did he call it? The what about this culture is way worse than the cancel culture. Let me repeat that dumb one too. The what if culture is just as bad as the cancel culture.
in what way does the what about this culture? The what about this culture? In what way does that
Is that
take
actually a
food
culture?
off of a person's plate? You know?
Doesn't.
Exactly. Deep State.
Those Hillary emails are nothing burger as well.
Deep State,
Thank
I
you, Deep
totally
State.
agree
Thank
with you. Those 10-year-old Hillary emails are a nothing burger as well. Thank you, Deep State. Yep.
Thank you. Those confidential emails that you can't let get leaked that got leaked. But yeah, hey, listen.
On a private server
if
that it was
happened
illegal
be right,
to use, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if Dusty did that, he would, all he'd have to say is, what does it matter now, Benghazi? And he'd get off scot-free, right?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's over with. It's done. It's the past.
Perfect, man. Now, here's to Matt's point.
I'm not going to apologize for it.
Yeah. The what about it culture is the reason why they have to attack that is because it's so obvious.
Yeah.
It's like gender. It's so obvious. It's obvious that if a dude decides to act like a chick and jump into girls' sports, it's wrong. You can't win that argument. Even with the feminazis, you can't win that because it's so obvious. That's why they hate what about culture, because what about culture doesn't take money off anybody's table. It just exposes abundant hypocrisy.
Mm-hmm.
And what it does is gives clarity to people to say, hey, that's not right. It's not right to say that it takes 2 weeks to slow a curve, and now it's you get 3 jabs or you can't pay for your family. That's ridiculous. So when you push back on the reality that this is complete tomfoolery, well, that just blows up my narrative. I mean, I want to fire a white, straight, cis guy because he said some mean things 10 years ago. You can't bring up the fact that I'm hiring people that for their whole career have been saying worse things. You can't bring that up because that would just take the sting out of my argument.
Well, and there's a difference.
You know?
There's a difference, too, because really the what about this is I'm doing a thing that you've pointed out is wrong. And then I point out that you're doing a thing that's wrong too. And then we never deal with the fact that both sides are doing wrong things, right?
Yep.
But that's not what this is.
No.
This is actually we can have the argument whether or not those emails were appropriate,
Sure.
But we need the context of what those emails were written
That's
about.
true. That's
and
true.
why they were
we
written.
also have to understand that almost everybody has emails like that.
Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing too, Dusty, the context is irrelevant because it doesn't matter. You have the free speech to say whatever you want to say in a private email. I could say the most racist, crazy things possible. I could literally say the worst possible words that are out there in a private email because that's my right as an American citizen to say free things. Because here's the thing, you start regulating that, guess what you're going to start regulating when I try to have a private Bible study with somebody and say pure moral things. You can regulate that too. And you can cancel me for that. And that's the plug for Christians. Because here's the thing for me, I understand the really hardened conservative Christian that'd be like, well, you shouldn't be saying those words anyways. That shouldn't cost your job because words are not actions.
True.
They may be a window into your heart.
We as Christians have grace, right? We have Christians have grace for the sinner because we're all sinners.
No, listen.
And we recognize that, right?
You're reading the Bible wrong. It's not about grace. It's about race. Come on, man. You got to get that right.
Yeah, you got
to. The G is silent.
You take the G out, and
it's
all about race.
The G is silent in the ancient Greek. The G is silent.
I like that.
Listen,
take the G out, and it's all about race.
Listen, it's clear you're clearly not understanding woke Jesus well.
Yeah, that's
okay. True. The unforgivable sin is not denying the Spirit. It's racism. You know what I mean? So it is what it is.
But anyway, so we have grace for that, and then. But here's the thing: is that we're not doing. Oh, okay, yeah, he said those things. Well, what about you? You said these things. No, what we're saying is, You're firing this guy over 10-year emails. That's ridiculous. First off, they were private emails. Yep. He has the Second Amendment right to say whatever he wants to say. But secondly, and thirdly, you have these other things that contradict your own statements for reasons why you're firing this guy. That's not whataboutism. That's just pointing out your hypocrisy.
Yes.
So the argument from the other side that I've heard about this sort of thing is you do have a First Amendment right to say whatever you want. However, there are consequences to what you say.
Based on what?
Well, here's the thing. You should have the right to say whatever you want to say. Mm-hmm. Now, they're saying, I'm playing devil's advocate here, and I'm probably going to murder the argument. They're saying that you should have consequences to whatever the words are. So if you say,
well, in part,
I don't like gays, you should be punched. Immediately punched.
In part, that's true, though.
Based on what?
Like, you do have the right to say anything, but you go up to your boss and you call him names and you berate him in public, he's going to fire you.
Sure.
Yes.
And rightly so.
But that's open slander. That's different than a private conversation. I am allowed.
Now, if you two friends outside of work slandering the boss, well, that's just banter. That's not open slander. There's a difference between banter and open slander.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is when people make that argument, I always ask, based on what? Based on what? What is the justification for consequences? If someone comes up to me and calls me an N-word or a mofo, do I have the right to punch him and slug him in the face?
No, because that's assault.
That's called assault.
I would argue you should.
Battery.
Huh?
I kind of feel like you should have that right.
I mean, you should be able to say that. But guess what? Conversely, it's based on interpretation of that person. If I go up to someone and say, hey, Jesus loves you, do you have the right to slug me in the face?
How dare you? How dare you say that to me?
Interpretation, right? Yes. Exactly. But that's the whole point. It's interpretation. It's interpretation. And that's going to be the crux of the situation. You can't fire someone based on an email that had nothing to do with your organization. If ESPN had umbrage with it, they should have fired him back then. True or false?
Correct.
We're talking about ESPN emails for a job 10 years ago that has nothing to do with the job he's doing now. Now, here's the other thing, too. We play this game out, everyone's canceled, which I'm okay with. I think we should cancel everyone because then we just start over. The good reset. Let's just cancel everybody and start over, which is ironic because that's what Christ does with every single one of our sins, because the Bible says all have fallen short of the glory of God. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Christ canceled all the sins because we literally canceled ourselves the moment we breathed. That's why it's massively important for people to put their faith and trust in Jesus Christ alone, because, John 14:6, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through me. Pretty clear and definitive statement, because all of you have sinned. None of you are perfect. That's why I got a little bit irritated. That's why my hemorrhoids flared up a little bit more than normal, Matt, because I can't stand pearl clutching. I cannot handle it. I can't handle people pretending and acting as if for some reason they've never said anything that could be offensive.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Not offensive.
Spoiler alert, as a child, you offended your parents.
Oh, yeah.
You've always been offensive. You were offensive the moment you cried trying to suckle on your mommy's teat when you were a little kid. You were offensive to mommy's sleep pattern. It is what it is. That's just the reality of the situation. So to sit back and clutch your pearls and say, oh my gosh, a guy talked to another guy like guys interact with on a regular basis, and that's the basis of you getting fired, dear God in heaven, nobody would be employed. But maybe that's the whole key, right?
That's the plan.
Maybe that's the whole plan, right?
You will own nothing and you will be happy.
Are you reading 1984?
No, I'm reading the Great
Where's that Brave New
Reset
World?
documents
What's that
out of Davos.
Oh, sorry, man. Gotcha, man.
I thought that was from the Green New Deal.
Well, we're all saying the same thing, my brother.
If George Orwell was a Christian and he was up in heaven, do you think he like nudges Christ and is like, I told him this would happen. Like,
I tried, Jesus. I tried.
I tried, bro.
I
I tried to warn him.
Look what I wrote.
It was like word for word, man. You inspired this. Like I tried to tell him, bro. Like they just didn't listen, man. Crazy.
Well,
boys,
yeah.
Thank you for letting me go off today. I appreciate that, man.
Of course.
I appreciate that.
Of course.
I couldn't handle the pearl clutching from people that I know that I've had interactions with that have said much worse things in our conversations. I crap you not.
Yep.
There was a dude that was having umbrage with this situation, and I'm sitting there like, bro, you've texted me worse things than that. And you're pissed at Gruden because the TV told you he was racist and homophobic.
The
You
TV
mental midget.
told
I didn't
to feel ways about stuff.
The TV told me, man. The TV told me that it was bad, even though I've done way worse. Like, stop. And the dude works in athletics still. And I'm like, dude, are you kidding me?
Well, and like the lack of self-awareness. It's like, it's never called into question. Like, wait a second, he said things that I've said.
But it's entertainment, bro. It's entertainment. You jackass. It's all entertainment. It's all bread and circus.
Yeah.
Sport is not life and death. I pretend it is every Saturday when I watch my Notre Dame Fighting Irish, but guess what? It's not.
It's not.
When I watch my Bungalows lose to the Packers on freaking Sunday football, guess what? It ain't life or death, man. As much as I love seeing Houday in the jungle doing their thing, it's not life and death, bro. It's entertainment, man.
Yep.
It is what it is. And I'm saying that as a freaking 6-time All-American, 1-time national champion. That's a cool accolades. I worked my ass off for it, but it's entertainment, bro. That's all it was.
Yep.
Just saying. And it paid for my schooling, but it is what it is. I'll take it.
Whatever, small stuff.
It is what it is. But it is entertainment. They paid for the entertainment. Listen, I will provide my services, okay? Yep. I'm not above getting paid for this stuff.
There's nothing wrong with providing entertainment.
That's what this show is.
Yeah. So
right?
we try it. We try to make it
Guess what,
entertaining.
guys?
I do a good job.
Entertaining.
Hell, it's entertaining just talking to you jabronis every single day.
That's
You know
how
what I
I
mean?
feel. And on that note,
Listen, I get to hang out.
On that note, you've been watching Plausible Foolishness, home of the Rube Empire, where the people are free, the taxes are voluntary, and please volunteer. And we serve freshly roasted liberal logic every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9:30 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness, YouTube, Facebook Live, anywhere you can get a podcast, Rumble, Instagram, and minds.com. Peace out.
What? Wow. Space Force, wow. Space Force, through your tape, we fast forward. We came through that time warp. Your foreheads look like warp. Everybody look confused, huh? How do we make these moves, huh? How do we always improve, huh? No, we ain't nothing like you. We on top cause we don't stop and all we do is gradual. Everyone's so grouchy cause they puppets and we animals. We don't whine, we just break bread with the team, holy mackerel. Know us, and we reign and better grab a boat. Whoa. We a different breed, talking alien.
Survivor of the fittest and we play to win. Grab another bounty and get paid again. Then we fade into the dark like a gradient. Dark like a gradient. Dark like a gradient.
Space, force through your tape. We fast forward, we came through that time warp. Your foreheads look like warp. Everybody look confused. How do we make these moves? How do we always improve? No, we ain't nothing like you. We on top cause we don't stop and all we do is gradual. Everyone's so grouchy cause they puppets and we animals. We don't whine, we just break bread with the team holy mackerel. Know us, then we raining, better grab a bow.
Poke the bear, you better go in there. My fireworks in the sky like a Roman air. An imposer in the throne, and it stole my chair. Any moment here could become a polar bear. It's cold in here, in a flash like a solar flare. The Vulcan here, my whole career, they cloak the beer. They won't get over me and then I won't appear. In a guana like a fauna, now I go to be deer.
Space, force through your tape. We fast forward, we came through that time warp. Your foreheads look like warp.